Good morning, beautiful people. Mic check, mic check. How you doing? Doing good? As we get started, I would just like to make sure that you know that we had a live yesterday. And this morning, very early in the morning, I put out a scripted video. Okay. So please make sure you check that out if you're wondering what it's about. Drake is getting his whole ass suit off in a class action. Yep, where he is accused of blatant fraud, lying, and manipulation and stealing money from common folk, as I believe they did say, uh, Steak's mascot, who is intent on turning his fan base into, what was the terminology? Oh, yes, that's right. Gambling degenerates. So if you're wondering why he filed a notice of appeal today, it may have something to do with him being accused of being nothing more than an unofficial knockoff Timu mascot, intent on turning his fan base into a bunch of gambling degenerates. So make sure that when this is over, you go watch that whole video. You leave a comment, you like it, you share it, you hype it. Okay? Because that's actually the important news of the day. This piddly little nonsense I already addressed in a scripted video a while ago entitled Why Drake Hasn't Filed a Notice of Appeal Explained. And I am now going to repeat myself now that he has filed a notice of appeal, which is what? Not an appeal. That's right. That's right. Okay. Good morning, beautiful people. How you doing? Shout out to all of the members and subscribers, all of the supporters. Shout out to the best mod squad on the internet holding it down, as you do. We are gathered here on this glorious morning because Drake needs a PR distraction. Obviously, we don't know if he was going to file this notice of appeal, but he has filed this notice of appeal, and the timing is a little suspect, because, as I mentioned, did I mention? I don't know if I mentioned. Did I mention? Drake got his whole ass suit off yesterday in a proposed class action brought by the citizens of the great state of Missouri, wherein he was accused of being an unofficial mascot for stake, wherein he and others could manipulate and lie to people about their bets and their winnings and all of those things so that he could turn his fan base into, what was it again? What did they say? Oh, yeah, that's right. A bunch of gambling degenerates. Shout out to Stout for this. I said yesterday. Hold up. I said yesterday, I need somebody to Photoshop me Drake in the Anita Max win, like a mascot with just the head just sitting on the side. And there he is. So everybody give all shouts out to Stout Shako for this glorious, glorious, glorious Timu levels of investment done here. Okay. Okay. Yep. Thank you very much.
High five. I'm bulletproof.
Let's get to the business at hand. Drake has filed a notice of appeal. And as I said, I have addressed this Um, in a previous scripted video, 99.99999% of which is still completely accurate and valid and has not changed, just because he has actually filed a notice of appeal. So I'm going to repeat myself so that you good, beautiful people know what comes after this. And so none of these biscuit head OVOs, I think you know who I'm talking about, Maul, can trick you into thinking he's about to pull a rabbit out of his ass. Okay? Because that's not what's about to happen. This is a notice of appeal. Technically, this document is 3 pages, but the notice of appeal is basically 1 page. It looks like this. That's it. That's the substance of it. Plaintiff Aubrey Drake Graham hereby appeals from the district court's opinion, an order entered on October 9, 2025, in the above captioned case to the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit, dated today. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Hit the like button, share this live. Okay, so you can see there, that's what it looks like. So, what's not in here? The grounds for his appeal. You don't see that in here. What's not in here? New evidence, right? What's not in here? An actual appeal, right? There's no document on the docket or on a new docket that is an actual something that we would read here. Say, okay, here's Drake's argument. You don't see that here because that's not how the appeals process works. It's very different than the typical litigation and is not going to go anything like what we went through following the lawsuit itself before it was dismissed. And I want you to think about all of the things that happened in less than a year. He filed his lawsuit in January of this year, and by October 9, just 18 days before he himself was sued, um, it was dismissed. So less than a year, and let's think about all of the things we went through in less than a year on that docket. We got the complaint. We got a motion to dismiss. We got the amended complaint. We got another motion to dismiss. We got efforts to pause discovery. Then we got actual discovery. We saw subpoenas. We saw motions for alternative means to serve potential witnesses. We saw motions to compel for Lucian Grange's files. We saw opposition to that. We saw motions to compel for Kendrick's contract. We saw opposition to that. We read an entire transcript on oral arguments for the motion to dismiss. And then we read the motion to dismiss. So consider all of those things that happened in less than a year. At least 10 things, 10 individual points of litigation that we went through. Now, for an appeal, that is one thing. Okay. And it's probably going to take over a year for that one thing to be decided. So here's how it actually works. Drake files a notice to appeal, which, he clearly has here. Let me look at the docket so I can tell you exactly what has happened this morning. Make sure I'm as accurate as possible. Okay. So this is how it goes. The party files a notice of appeal with the original court. The court, okay, in this case, the Southern District of New York, then sends a notice to the U.S. Court of Appeals. In this case, it's what's known as the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. They then send a notice to the Court of Appeals saying, we have received a notice of appeal, okay? The Court of Appeals sets up a separate, brand new docket with a new case number and all of that. The original court they're not done with their job. They then have to prepare the official court record. And that is basically everything that has happened in this case, the whole docket. Okay. And the docket record as it has been maintained by court staff. They have to prepare that, and then they have to transmit it to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals. And the Second Circuit then, they create a new docket, they assign it a new case number, and then they go through the process of setting up the docket, right? And kind of sort of all parties participate in this because they've got to get the official record from the Second Circuit Court of Appeals onto the docket. All of the lawyers that are going to be working on this on behalf of the parties, they have to come onto that docket as well. There's a bunch of technical, formal, boring things that have to happen, and it can take from hours to days to weeks to sometimes months for just the docket to get properly prepared. And during that time, there is no appeal document filed because the Second Circuit of Appeals determines the schedule. Once the case is there, they determine the schedule going forward. And once they have the docket already, everybody is in place, they will issue an order to Drake and tell him when he needs to file the appeal by. And that could be anywhere from 90 days plus on. So you're looking at from today, his this moves us into 2026. So his appeal, I'm thinking about how many days. I don't have a month day calculator just in my brain. Not all of AI Absa has powered up this morning, okay? But based on the rudimentary math happening in my head right now, his actual appeal, the actual document that we will gather and read together to determine, okay, what are his grounds for his appeal, will be filed next year in January. Maybe at the end of this year, very late December, probably into January or February, March, just depending on the circumstances of that document, okay? What the court dictates and then what the appellant requires to be able to file it. So that happens. And then the court, in that determining what the schedule is going to be for this case, they then also tell UMG when their submission is due to the docket, and that will come several months after the actual appeal document is filed. Okay? And then from there, so let me stop there. So the appeal document is not based on new evidence. They cannot enter new evidence. It is not based on a new argument, a new legal standard saying, oh, we found something new. Please reconsider. This is not that, okay? A lot of people conflate in their mind components that they are just aware of out there of a criminal process and a civil process, a federal process, a local process. We're talking about federal court of appeals for a civil lawsuit. So there is no new evidence, there's no new information, there's no new legal argument. The only thing that they can actually attempt to argue to the Second Circuit Court of Appeals is that the judge misunderstood or misapplied the law. Okay? The laws that she cited in her ruling that dictate, not justify, dictate dismissal. It will be interesting to see what their arguments are. I couldn't begin to tell you. I don't have the foggiest idea what they're going to say, but it's going to be one of those two things because the only thing that the original judge had purview over in a motion to dismiss is matters of law. Okay? Things like evidence, smoking guns, proof, those things are matter of fact and they are irrelevant to the motion to dismiss and her determination in the motion to dismiss that is dictated to her by existing law, including, if you watched the live or the follow-up videos from her decision to dismiss the case, she relies on Second Circuit Court of Appeals decisions, pre-existing decisions, to determine that the law dictates that the case be dismissed. Okay? So they're going to argue one or two things. So what happens after he actually files it, which will be sometime next year, and then UMG actually puts in their submission, which will be even later into the year? Nothing happens. A bunch of technical, wonky, literally no reason to have a live things happen on the docket, much of which we can see entries of, but we can't actually see any documents. We can't see it. This is a very technical process. So, towards the end of 2026, where we will pick this back up, right? We will, after the new year, more than likely, 99.9% sure it's going to be probably January, but we'll see what the court determines the schedule will be. And when that comes out, I will let you know. But this is not going to be one of those things that is like being. It doesn't happen that way. So so we will gather when he does actually file the appeal document. I'm going to say next year. We will gather when UMG files their submission. Again, first, second quarter next year, and then fourth quarter next year, at the end of 2026, we will gather to see what the parties have filed in terms of their introductions or overviews of what their oral arguments are going to be before the court. So we'll get a glimpse into that and we'll gather for that. And then they will go and they will actually have oral arguments. At some point in time, we'll get a transcript. And then in 2027, the Court of Appeals will make its decision. Hello, beautiful people. I love it when neighbors support neighbors. How's it going down there on your end of the block of these YouTube streets? The Struggle Stream Show. Thank you for the $10 contribution. Just here to spread some beautiful Drake hate sunshine and to give thanks for keeping us informed and educated. And you are welcome. And like I said, do not forget the main focus. Drake got his whole butt suit off yesterday. Okay. For being nothing more than a Temu mascot. Trying to turn his fans into degenerate gamblers and steal from common folk. Let us not forget. This is actually the focus. I dropped the video this morning. Share the love. But yes, Biscuit Head Boy has filed his notice of appeal. I do, hello, beautiful. I do think that the timing, he just left it there for me. He just left it there for me to go ahead and make the argument that the timing is definitely to distract, I'm not one of those people who is like, they're doing this to distract you from, because my brain can multitask and I can focus on and track more than one thing at the same time. But I'm not sure, the gambling degenerate fan base has the same brain capability as mine. Ho. So I think they absolutely filed this today in order to distract. from this here. And because there are people like Mal and just people who just love to just those porch primates, boy, just love to flap their big old fat gums. Okay? Not rooted in any fact of the process or anything like that to lead people to think Drake is oh, it's about to happen. You didn't know he used bots? I knew he used bots. He's about to drop the hammer on him. Right? That okay? Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Put your clicks, your likes, and your hypes right here. Support the docket fund. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I just want to say, before I show you this t-shirt, support Black women. Actually, support Black women. These little hoes out here. Uh, so, yes, in 22 minutes, that's it. Okay, so the notice of appeal has been filed. The original court has transmitted the notice of appeal docket sheet, the notice of appeal and docket sheet to the U.S. Second Circuit Court of Appeals, and the appeal record sent via electronic file. I wonder when he actually. Let me look at this document again to see. No, I'm pretty sure that all of this happened today. I was just looking to see, like, did this actually get filed yesterday but only entered today? And no, I don't. No, no, no. Everything is today, today, today. So today, notice of appeal filed. Today, transmission of notice and appeal and docket sheet to the Second Circuit. Today, appeal record sent to USCA. So, excuse me. The original court staff has already been doing their things to doing their part to send all of the official formal things to begin the process of sending all of the official or formal things over to the Second Circuit so that court staff can begin to again set up this docket. But this is not an emergency case. This is not a habeas corpus. This is not some kind of critical things. So there is no emergency court action that is going to work. And if there were, he would have done it the day of. As you can see, when you look at, you saw what the notice to. It's one piece of paper. It's a form that you just fill in, slot in the names, update the date, and send it to the court. There is no extensive writing that needs to happen. You don't even need to know what your argument is going to be for appeal. You don't need to know what your argument is going to be for appeal to file your notice of appeal. So, again, I would say that this biscuit head did this because he's a mascot, moving just like a degenerate. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh my God. Y'all are just keep in mind, it's only 9:15 in the morning here, but y'all are on it.
High five. I'm bulletproof.
Y'all are really, really on it. We might need to do a little revision. Again, a shout out to Stout for this. So don't let him steal my clicks, my views, my likes, my comments, my hypes from the video that I put out last night that I worked on in the middle of the night so that you could have it today. I did not have this last night when I made the video. So I am prominently displaying Drake as a mascot, a gambling degenerate mascot, here for your viewing pleasure today. Yes, yes. But yeah, guys, so what do we think? Anybody else think the timing is just a little, I don't know, suspicious? Boy, this ain't nothing. This ain't nothing. What matters is the new video that I have out. That's what matters. This biscuit head trying to distract the people, okay? Trying to play with my viewership numbers. Good to see you. Good to see you. So I see. Because obviously, I mean, the lawsuit filed against him yesterday garnered a lot of press. Sure did. It got a lot of attention. Ooh, ouch. Oh, ooh, ooh. Let me get my DJ on. Ooh, ooh, it's painful.
I study rap battles for a living.
Dumbass. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Yep, he sure do. He sure do. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even. Yeah, there is. Is it up to UMG's standard? No. Why you think they told him, "Okay, buddy, get your little hoeing ass back on the holster. We got you, you ain't made quota yet. Get back in that booth. This one's not hitting. This one's not hitting." I don't know what this is supposed to be asserting, but that's not an issue. Yeah. Go, get yourself back in there. Oh, you fetching a Gatorade real quick? Go ahead. Kenny sent some over for you. Go ahead. Fetch your Gatorade. Get your little tissue back in there, boy. Mhm. Mhm. You can't be rhyming banana with Nana. What? What? We wouldn't even be here, fam. We wouldn't even be here. But we've had so many, moments that brought us closer together. Humility, baby. If he can't spell it, he can't do it. Mhm. Mhm. I forgot about that. I forgot about that, but I had seen that. Kenny said headshot for the year. Drake said, "Hold my beer." A year? I can do better than that. You know what? You're right. Drake in his feelings because I showed a little bit of ankle. Child, I was so irritated when this docket notice came. You should have seen me jump the fuck up. Okay, you should have seen. I mean, I was already up, but I was in a seated position. I was in a seated position going through other dockets. Um, ones that have implications for like the nation. Boring. I saw, I heard ding, saw court listener. I've got 80 of those a day, so no biggie. Start to pull the notification down, and all I see is D, and then the top of the D and the top of the U and the M and the G. I know exactly how many times I didn't even have to pull that thing all the way down. I jumped the fuck up. I was like, I know this motherfucker did not. I know this motherfucker did not file a notice to appeal after I just dropped my video. I took it 1000% personally. I was like, okay, you think I won't go live? Nigga. I'm gonna go live and remind everybody you a mascot, a knockoff mascot, an unofficial mascot. Willfully turning your fan base into gambling degenerates. I wish, I have cameras everywhere, but they point outwards. That was one of those moments where I was like, I wish I had an internal camera focused on me in that moment so that I could see my reaction. So that I can see my reaction to getting the notification. And what's crazy is we've talked about this before, right? Because I did a scripted video. We talked about it during several lives. And I was like, if he files a notice to appeal, I mean, we will have a live just because, I'm not just going to sit back and watch people just, and then have you all come to me, such and such said it means this, such and such said it means that. So I was like, I mean, we gonna have a live. So I thought I would feel like real casual about it. Like, here we go. I saw that top of the U, top of the D, top of the U, top of the M, top of the G. And I jumped the fuck up. Like, I know. Really? 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 Today, huh? Today? Okay. Sure. Sure, sure. Sure, 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 sure. Sure, 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 sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Correlation doesn't equal causation. Blah, 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 blah. That biscuit head clearly called his lawyers and said, I'm going to need you to change the narrative. Let's throw in a little bit of chaos. And notice to appeal. Blue Box Ox says it's actually crazy how much of a losing run Drake's been on ever since he lost to Kendrick. It's record. It's a marathon. Okay, it's not even a run, it's a marathon. It's a marathon. Yeah. Yeah. He's doing it like it's going to get him a Grammy. It's crazy. I'm going to be over there on Saturday. Me and Moni, we're going to be over there on Saturday. Check it out. And then I have a live here Sunday, noon Pacific. Be here. I fully agree. I fully agree. You ain't got to tell me, child. First of all, I told y'all. And second of all, I feel it in my bones. Oh God, I love being able. I love the feeling of a reaction to something. Because I was just like, again, there were a bunch of things filed overnight in cases that I'm following. A bunch of dockets flying fast and furious this morning. So I've been checking docket alerts and looking at dockets all morning. And then I was like, okay, got my coffee. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna have me a little moment. Let me think about what is it that I want to do first, first this morning. I was about to leave the house, quite honestly. Child, I saw that and I was like, oh hell no. All offended. I took all offense to that shit. All and took it like a challenge. Oh, okay. That's what we doing? Shit, okay. Say less. Say less, boy. Yeah, this is a really great point, and I've seen a lot of people say like, "Oh, obviously Drake got sued in this class action because he fucked with UMG." You have no basis for that whatsoever. For those of you who are saying it, stop trying to say it in my comment section. The two have nothing to do with each other. But you are right, Blackjack Gaming. The irony. Welcome. You are right that there are going to be people who are going to just be on that conspiracy biscuit head ass bullshit and point and laugh at those people. Point and laugh at them because the willful stupidity warrants nothing but pointing and laughing at them. Tamia, thank you for the $5 contribution. Why won't he just sit his ass in the corner? Oh, God. My babies don't work my nerves as much as this boy, Sandra and Dennis. Get y'all's child, please. He ain't my child. Sandra and Dennis, get your boy. You know, but they're the biggest fucking enabling parents we've seen since I don't know when. Yeah. UMG has nothing to do with the fact that several lawsuits have been filed in states. Notice I said in states, not by states. Okay. In states across the country. You know, I did my research last night. Make my, again, video that we need to actually focus on for today. There are several actions that have been filed in states across the country that are damn near mirror to what it is that we read yesterday. And I didn't know that. We didn't know that because Drake wasn't one of the named parties in those other actions. So they didn't get the level of attention that this new effort at a class action has brought. Um, as I said in my video, okay? I've never promoted something so fucking hard in my life. The boy trying to fuck with my views. We ain't doing that, okay? As I said in my video, this is the least surprising court action against Drake in the history of forever, as far as I'm concerned. The least surprising to me. Least. I know other people are like, well, I would expect paternity. That's because you traffic in conspiracy. I traffic in what can we all see in front of us, done blatantly in our faces. I always talk about um how people, entities, etc., will do things, immoral things, illegal things, etc., right in front of your faces. It's the audacity is the pass. Who gonna call me on it? And this, to me, the gambling thing was one of those things where I was just, it's a matter of time before, and also because I absolutely thought, as did most of the people who were in the live yesterday when we looked at that lawsuit, that Stake US was a gambling site. I never thought it was a games site. I always thought it was a gambling site. Always. Always. Why? Drake's promotion. You know, it happens around here. It happens.
High five. I'm bulletproof.
Matthew says, "That's why I watch you. I want facts, not fantasy." Right, and I'm clear to let y'all know when I have a little for funsies prediction or a little for funsies fantasy in my head, but anybody who can say to you that, like, the class action is gonna get dismissed, they don't fucking know that. Learn from the experience that we've just been through. If they didn't know what they were talking about at any point in time during the UMG lawsuit, they don't miraculously know what the fuck it is they're talking about right now. Okay? Anybody who says he's gonna win the appeal, they don't know what they're talking about. These things are not predetermined. If they were predetermined, there wouldn't be a process behind them that takes over a year. Point and laugh. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it, beautiful. Let's get to 400 likes. Do the thing. Do the thing. I've never thought I've never thought or heard of steak being promoted as anything other than gambling, says Chris with a K. Yeah, I don't think he has discernment, perspective, or foresight. I don't think he got into you know, steak on the hope that it would wind up being a part of his humiliation. If he has a humiliation kink, again, I don't think he has any perspective, and I don't think he has any foresight. I think Drake is always focused on just what is immediately in his line of sight and what brings him cash immediately. Because I have said for over a year that I believe Drake is cash poor. So, but I don't think he has any foresight. If he had foresight, then he would have better strategy. And we would see that in everything that he does because those things would be done better. That's not that's not what we see. That's not what we experience with him. So, it's all about the immediate for him. And so, one of the reasons why I thought he would not file an appeal is because it's gonna take forever. It's gonna take forever. But after yesterday, again, they don't even need to know what they're gonna argue legally to file a notice to appeal. That's why there's no document. There's not gonna be a document for months. They don't gotta know that today to file this piece of paper. It's just a piece of paper. They could withdraw it later if they wanted to. Matter of fact. But right now, in the immediate, what works for him right now is that there is a torrent of negative press about him on a completely different level than Not Like Us, right? This really touches a wide array of society. It has to do with our kids, our young people. It has to do with addiction, financial literacy, um, the weaponization of the internet and how it exploits people out of money. It touches on a lot of things. States' rights to protect their residents, people that live and work and visit their state, regulation, oversight. It touches on a lot of things. And so, you know, the UMG lawsuit stuff kind of, is kind of niche. A lot of people were focused more on the beef. It took a long time, not here, but it took a long time for people to come around to how dangerous the lawsuit actually is for the First Amendment. Um, this is different. And so when you wake up in the morning and you see you're in a bunch of different categories in the news, not just the entertainment section. You're in the business journals and the Financial Times and the this, that, and the other. And, that's a bigger crisis. So what does he do? The timing of the immediate of right now, the only thing that he can do, at least distract his algorithm, at least attempt to distract his algorithm from that. Don't pay attention to that. I have a smoking gun. No, you don't. If he actually had evidence about the UMG situation before he filed the lawsuit, like his biggest, cuckolds say that he did, he would have filed it as an exhibit with his original or his amended complaint. He didn't. So, yeah, no tea, no shade. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I am completely disinterested in white people, any white people, period. Um, wagging their finger at the morality of black people. So it doesn't mean anything to me at all. I've gotten some comments like this before. And again, it's no tea, no shade. I'm never interested in white people wagging the finger of morality at black people. I don't care what it's about. I'm just like, okay. But again, what I really want people to understand is that this is not gang gang. This is not going to be like the original litigation case, right? I will have some initial updates for you all when the docket gets set and when the court determines what the schedule is going to be. We'll have a live, we'll discuss what that's going to look like. So, because then you're going to have hard dates, right? You're going to know when the document is actually going to be filed, when UMG files their stuff. And then we will just continue to go on about the business of focusing on the actual pressing case and the actual docket that is going to be updated regularly as regular litigation. And that is the proposed class action lawsuit against him, Aiden, and Stake for stealing from people so that they could get rich. Crazy work. Well, he hasn't appealed, and you can run it back, um, for what has happened today and what has not happened today, okay? He's filed a notice to appeal. It's a single piece of paper, well, it's 3 pages, but it's basically a single piece of paper, it's a form. Um, the process is not the same as typical litigation, so run it back for all the juicy details. I think I started at about the 4-minute mark, um and it's not complicated, but again, my focus is on I really want you all to understand what this is and what it isn't, so that you can just straight up ignore people who are running around or point and laugh at them, okay, for being pathetic little drizzler mascots just like Drake is a pathetic little mascot for steak. But you can just completely ignore any noise or conspiracy or theory about what it means, what he's gonna present, what evidence he has, and where the judge fucked up. Don't none of these biscuit heads understand a motherfucking thing about the law, and it is laughable and absurd that any of them have already spoken on the judge's decision as if they understand the law. They do not. They cannot today all of a sudden pinpoint where she made a mistake. He hasn't even said where he thinks she made a mistake. So all of that is literally talking out the sides of their necks with no self-respect. So if they ain't got no shame and no self-respect and they just hoeing themselves with words for clicks and likes, don't let them treat you like a trick. He filed a form to announce that he's getting ready to get ready. Boy, if you don't get your little ass back there, I said get back in that booth, make my money. We are not releasing music that rhymes Nancy with fancy. Try again. She did. She did. She sure did. Yeah. Mods, if you could drop them links. You really want to, I just wrote 2 books about this damn thing. Okay? Two damn books about this lawsuit. About us, about the culture, about hip hop history, about rap's future. And support the docket fund because this motherfucker stay in court. Jesus Christ, motherfucker stay in court. Let's see. What else did I get an update on this morning? Milagro Grams is really panicked about, it's almost trial time. They filed a motion to continue a hearing yesterday. It was denied. They filed an amended motion to continue the same hearing. It was denied. And then late last night, they filed another amended motion to continue the next hearing, and it was denied. This morning, there was a little bit of just technical movement on Cameron versus J. Cole and just the docket getting, more formally set up, staff starting to come onto the docket and issue some things. So I would imagine in the next couple days they're going to start issuing summons so that the parties are officially served with that lawsuit. So that's kind of what's been going on dockets in the hip hop world. Just the slightest thing sets that boy off. Yeah. 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 I mean, it sucks. Starting your day off right, Starting your day off right. Look at it. Look at this little mascot boy. Woo, man. That document read yesterday was extremely satisfying. Extremely, extremely satisfying. They suing the hell out of this boy. doing something real quick. Okay. That's Judge Vargas. I mean, can it be both? You know? Can we be right in the beat in between spooky and hilarious? It seems fair. Spoolarious. Or spooklarious. Yeah, we right in the middle. I mean, because this shit, I was I was laughing yesterday. I was definitely laughing yesterday reading that document when they got to the point where they were like, where the document said, um, when it got into, illegal and manipulative business practices, I was like, Jesus Christ, the fucking irony that this dude just accused UMG in a lawsuit of illegal and manipulative business practices that harm consumers. And now, 18 days later, he gets sued for what? Yeah, harming and manipulating consumers. And he really didn't have a pot to piss in on that claim in his lawsuit. But this lawsuit filed against him, that law firm is seasoned. Seasoned. Over 1 billion, with a B, billion, in judgments. Really, really, really good lawyers. And the means, this is one of the things that they have to satisfy for the court. Oh, our law firm has the means for a class action. Yes. No problem. We can represent everybody in the state that he did this to. We got it. He'll pay us later when we win. Drake. Drake. I'm right there. I'm right there with you, Amid. I'm right there with you. So, yeah. That's what's going on, chat. That's what's happening. Okay? That's what's happening. Don't let this mofo steal my scripted views. Make sure you show that video some all the love. All the love. Be obnoxious with it. Like it, comment on it, hype it, share it. Share it twice. Fuck him. Fuck him. Oh, I'm so mad I can't run back a video to see my reaction. Oh gosh. Yeah, it's short, sweet, to the point, but I got some zingers in there. I got some good zingers in there. Well-deserved zingers. Wow, okay. Alright. Mhm. Yep. We're gonna go. I'm not gonna be the reason why y'all become unhinged throughout the rest of the day. You're not gonna blame me. But yeah, point and laugh at all the dum-dums. Okay? Go watch the go watch the video in question. I might be back, in a little while for some other, docket-related things. We'll just see how it goes. I gotta go reset myself. Man, trying to fuck up my morning. You can't you just can't, Drake, okay? You can't. You see me over here easily juggling the things. Biscuit head boy. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. Like this on your way out if you didn't like it on your way. Hype this one too. Shit, playing with me. Mercy. Don't come to me telling me how folks are being insufferable, okay? I don't watch them. Don't tell me, I don't care. Shout out to the replay gang. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Peace.